Hi, Bob Forche, Supply Chain Pro to Know, coming to you from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Last day here before we head back to Denver tonight. And it's a really beautiful day, but it's about 107 degrees outside in the shade. Anyway, in our supply chain class today, we were talking about risk management and inventory and a bunch of other topics along the way, but I thought it'd be interesting to kind of recap some of the things about risk management that seem to be changing quickly. Number one is that I think a lot of organizations tend to think that risk management is the domain of purchasing and or what people call supply chain. But in reality, supply chain is a much bigger discussion than just purchasing. And risk management is not limited to just purchasing and sourcing activities. We really need everyone to think about risk as ERM, enterprise risk management, because it can come from internal or external sources, and it can come from technology, from products, from suppliers, from process, from manufacturing, from information, bad forecasts, IP issues, all of those things, which are to a large degree not related to purchasing directly. So what that really means is that we need a more comprehensive approach and a more proactive approach to look at the risk management dynamics on a regular basis, and it is a lot larger topic than probably we give it credit for. And because there's so many different signals to look at out there, this typically is not something that a human can digest or even detect all the different things that are in play. So this is a perfect example where having technology, the ability to do scanning and flagging for exceptions, is something that would be very productive. So we want to know about events that might be worthwhile following up on, such as when people are being locked down from travel in a foreign country, or when a shipping lane is being attacked or under siege, or whether a new tariff is affecting a class of products. So all of those things might be a news item that seem isolated, but in fact become an initial point for a risk analysis that could have long-reaching effects. So at the end of the day, we need the entire organization to have a more proactive approach in terms of scanning and becoming aware and responding to the different risks that might be happening. The other side of this coin is that where many companies might see only risk, it's highly likely that there could be some participants that can turn this into a positive. It might be an actual opportunity for gain. And so this is just like in the stock market, when there are a lot of sellers getting out of a stock that's falling in value, maybe prematurely, there always is a buyer there to take advantage of the opportunity to pick up a equity at a lower price than before. And so it presents a unique opportunity to, if we're prepared, that we might take a position that can turn us into a gain rather than just a risk. But that means we have to have a plan, and we have to have a vision and some opportunity to act on that with some advance notice. So at the end of the day, risk management means we have a process, we have governance, we have a regular capability to scan and respond, and we have a proactive approach to completely review this, incorporate it into our strategy analysis, and be prepared to be able to make decisions about our supply plans on the short term as well as long term. So hopefully that makes sense. I think the risk management topic is something that we need to continually advance on and recognize that there's a lot more information out there. There's one more thing to talk about here, and that is when we are thinking about how do we determine if there's a risk to us from cybersecurity and how do we detect it. There's new technology out there right now that is developing a process where it can set up decoy data that attracts the bad actors and funnels their attempts to breach a database or a system into a very box canyon kind of an approach where we can see who it is, what they're doing, and how they're attacking, which can then have a very specific response from our internal resources to take some action and in fact maybe prevent a breach. So this is new technology. I'm actually working with some partners in Europe and in the United States right now to further develop this program and get it out there so people in supply chain are aware of it and can begin to leverage it on a more regular basis. It's a very cost-effective approach because it will prevent 98% of the breaches that would have happened otherwise, which I think is no small issue when we're talking about supply chain. So hopefully that's of value. If you want more details, drop me a note. I'd be happy to share some of the information I have on that now. And in the meantime, Bob Forshea, Supply Chain Pro to Know, and we'll be watching. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.